Hey everybody, hello and welcome. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. Hope you're doing good stuff. Hope you're staying hydrated and looking both ways when you cross the street, paying your taxes, and always wearing a seatbelt. Before we begin today's video, I have to start off with a YouTube apology video. I'm sorry. I truly am. I'm sorry that my face looks like this and my voice sounds like this. I assure you, I used to be a much handsomer man and my voice was marginally better, but now it sounds like somebody straight up punched me right in the throat. My theory is, and my doctor disagrees, but my theory is that I am dying. Yeah, I don't have much longer on this earth. I'm pretty sure I'm on my way out. Sorry if you've gotten attached to me or you like me, but I'm not gonna be around much longer. And that's just because I'm gonna die. Don't worry about it. I did some pretty cool shit while I was here. Some of it was cool, some of it sucked. A lot of it was boring, but you know, overall, I'd say it was a wash. All right, so before we pull this up, do the YouTuber thing, like, subscribe, the bell. Is the bell still a thing? I don't even know. I'm really bad at this job. Just, if you see something down there you can click, just click it. Anyway, let's talk about Taylor Swift. All right, let's do this shit. Let's do it. Turn it up. We got pulsating drums. We have ominous tones. We got muted layering. Feels celebratory. So she's like blindsided by love. Interesting textures. Cool modulation. The drum and bass section is awesome. Yeah, so what an album opener. This is not bad at all. It's very busy. It has some rock-esque elements to it, some ominous tones and textures, some sound design that I'm not used to from hearing from her earlier works. You know, it doesn't have like a country flair to it. It's got more of a rock edge with the pulsating drums. I think those drums are supposed to kind of mimic the idea of a racing heart. You know, if I had to put my finger on what this song is about, it's about kind of being blindsided by love, somebody crashing through the wall like a cannonball and coming into your life and completely captivating you. And in doing so, they take your armor away and they're your Achilles heel. So you're kind of left there vulnerable, and you weren't exactly mentally prepared for someone to do that to you. But nonetheless, it's happened. Now, there's an air of like fresh positivity to all this. It feels celebratory. It feels dramatic in the way the song is structured and built, and just like how things kind of morph down into that cinematic bridge there towards the end. But for the most part, the whole thing feels positive. It feels celebratory. So I think it's pretty cool. So the story starts off with Red kind of on a positive light. She's being a little bit vulnerable. She's had somebody crash through the walls and captivate her. Who it is, I'm not sure. But overall, a great little opening track. I really enjoyed this one.
Loving him is like driving a new Maserati down a dead-end street. Faster than the wind, passionate as sin, ending so suddenly. Loving him is like trying to change your mind once you're already flying through the free fall. Like the colors in autumn so bright, just before they lose it all. Losing him was blue like I never known. Missing him was dark gray all alone. Forgetting him was like trying to know somebody you never met. But loving him was red.
I really like what she's doing with the color. We know that red is a positive thing. Normally red is something I've always associated with as rage, or it's a bad thing, you know, kind of like blood or whatever. Red is a good thing. Gray is bad. I could see that. Blue is sad. Okay, so I gotta follow along with this. You cannot sleep on Taylor Swift lyrics. Everything means something.
Loving him was red.
Is that a vocal sample?
Touching him was like realizing all you ever wanted was right there in front of you. Memorizing him was as easy as knowing all the words to your old favorite song. Fighting with him was like trying to solve a crossword and realizing there's no right answer. Regretting him was like wishing you never found out that love could be that strong. Losing him
Never found out.
like I'd never known. Missing him was dark gray all alone. Forgetting him was like trying to know somebody you never met. But loving him was red. Oh, red. Burning red.
So there's some comfortability to this guy. There's an element of like this person being as familiar as the lyrics to your favorite songs, but he's also very complicated. He's a crossword puzzle that you can never figure out. There's some other interesting lines here too, like regretting him is like wishing you never found out that love could be that strong. That's kind of a lot to unpack. Oh.
Flashbacks and echoes. Tell myself it's time now. Gotta let go.
At least it's cinematic.
From him is impossible when I still see it all in my head. Burning red. Loving it was red. Oh, losing him was blue like I never known. Missing him was dark.
This kind of rocks.
Forgetting him was like trying to know somebody you never met. 'Cause loving him was red. Yeah, red. Oh, burning
So far, this album actually kind of rocks more than I thought it was going to. It's interesting to see things kind of switch back a little bit with little hints of country. You can definitely see that she's kind of coming out of this era, but there's still, you know, implements of fiddle and some cinematics that were known from her previous works, and they're kind of sprinkled throughout this in like a pretty cool dramatic way. The writing, once again, I think kind of steals the show. I think this is great. I love the use of metaphors. I love the use of color explaining certain vivid emotions. This is kind of like a double-edged sword or a flip of a coin here. Well, this relationship seems incredibly passionate, and she seems very happy. She kind of knows that it's going nowhere. You know, she has this Maserati, this comfortable place in her life with this person, but she knows that she's going down this dead-end road, and she's starting to have some regrets, but she's getting to the point where, like, there's nothing she can do about it because she knows that, like, she's kind of lost herself in this. She's already jumped out of the plane, and she's, at this point, just regretting the fall and just kind of going along with it. But yeah, dude, it rocks. It's cinematic. It's got some great layering to it. Vocally, this is fantastic, and once again, we get some great writing from Taylor. Some synthetics.
Put your lips close to mine, as long as they don't touch. Out of focus, eye to eye, till the gravity's too much. And I'll do anything you say, if you say it with your hands. And I'd be smart to walk away, but you're quicksand. This slope is treacherous. This path is irregular. This slope is treacherous, and I like it. I can't decide if it's a choice, getting swept away. I hear the sound of my own voice, asking you to stay. All we are is skin and bone, trained to get along. Forever going with the flow, but your friction treacherous. This daydream is dangerous. This hope is treacherous.
I think I'm really gonna like this album. I couldn't put my finger on it until we got to the third track here, but the whole thing has a very indie alternative type of feel to it, which is definitely my style. And yeah, as far as like the production go, I'm just kind of seeing things lean in that direction. Anyway, let's talk about this one, because I feel like there's a clear evolution as far as like where this album is going. I don't think these are one-offs, or at least yet it seems like they're talking about the same story. And again, it feels like, you know, she's going in this direction and she knows that it's, you know, not a good thing. You know, she's going down this like slippery slope. It's treacherous. And she knows that she's going to be stuck in quicksand. She knows that there's going to be all of these problems, but she can't help but like ask herself, why do I like this? I do like this. Do I like this? Why am I doing this? This almost feels like less of a song of her explaining a story and more of a kind of an intimate look of a personal conversation she's having with herself. And sonically, I think it's awesome, man. I really enjoy the build. The slight touch of piano, the layering of acoustic and electric guitar is really cool. I love it when the acoustic comes up a little bit higher in the mix. Slight touch of tambourine as well to work on that accent on the sharp. Yeah, so I mean, overall, it's got all the makings of of a production that I enjoy.
Once upon a time, a few mistakes ago, I was in your sights. You got me alone. You found me. You found me. You found me. I guess you didn't care, and I guess I like that. And when I felt hard, you took a step back. Without me, without me, without me. And he's long gone when he's next to me, and I realize the blame is on me. 'Cause I knew you were trouble when you
Oh, I know this one.
ran.
I've heard this before.
Shame on me now, flew me to places I've never been.
It's like a dubstep
Till you
thing.
put me down. Oh, I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
Maybe I had a remix. I don't know.
So shame on me now, flew me to places I've never been. Now I'm lying on the cold hard ground.
Yeah.
Trouble, trouble, trouble. Trouble, trouble, trouble. No apologies, he'll never see you cry. Pretends he doesn't know that he's the reason why you're drowning, you're drowning, you're drowning. And I heard you moved on from whispers on the street. A new notch in your belt is all I'll ever be. And now I see, now I see, now I see. He was long gone when he met me, and I realized
This is actually kind of a sad song.
I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now, flew me to places I've never been. Till you put me down. Oh, I knew you were trouble when you walked in.
It is pretty catchy. I don't remember this part.
that you never loved me or her or anyone or anything. Yeah. I knew you were trouble when you walked in. So shame on me now. Flew me to places I've never been. Till you put me down. I knew you were trouble when you walked in. Knew the right thing. So shame on me now. Flew me to places I've never been. Now I'm lying on the cold hard ground. Trouble, trouble, trouble. Trouble, trouble, trouble. I knew you were trouble when you walked in. Trouble, trouble, trouble. I knew you were trouble when you walked in. Trouble, trouble, trouble.
This is one of those songs that, you know, what I'd hear in passing, and even just like listening to the basic melody and how chimey and how positive everything is sounding, you know, you can't help but like realize how much of a contrast there is on this. This is the thing about Taylor Swift. You could take her as like this fleeting thing if you're not into her, or you don't know anything about her, or you feel like she's outside of like your demographic of art, you know? And it's what I've done for many, many years. Yeah, so like I just thought this was like a cutesy little song that I'd hear in passing. I'd think, oh yeah, you were trouble. You were probably out there flirting with everybody, and you know you were, I don't know, a charlatan. I don't know what people call people like that. Anyway. But it goes much deeper than that, because, you know, she can only blame herself for this. And in the previous song, she's been talking about this, you know, with Treacherous and like slipping down this slope and seeing the writing on the wall and, you know, being the Maserati at the dead end. And like she sees that there's this instant, you know, burning red connection, but she can also see the other side of this where the relationship is not really working out. And where we're left off at the main thing of this song is, she knew that he was trouble. She didn't stand a chance, but she also can't blame anybody but herself at this point. Okay, all right, so it's starting to make sense right now. The next song is All Too Well. I've done a reaction to the 10-minute version of the music video. That's available somewhere here on Patreon if you do want to check that out. I'm going to listen to this one because I don't believe I've heard the album version, which is only about 5.5 minutes long. But I spent a good half hour, 45 minutes with that video, so I'm going to hopefully try and think of something new to say here. But it makes perfect sense, dude. It makes perfect sense. There's a total arc going with this person. Now we're leaving here with what is track 5, which is what I know now is usually like the deep songs. Oh, shit. This album is pretty wild. We're only 5 songs in. There's 30 of them.
I walked through the door with you. The air was cold, but something about it felt like home somehow. And I left my scarf there at your sister's house, and you've still got it in your drawer even now. Oh, your sweet disposition, my wide-eyed gaze. We're singing in the car, getting lost upstate. Autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place, and I can picture it after all these days. And I know it's long gone, and that magic's not here no more. And I might be okay, but I'm not fine at all. 'Cause there we are again on that little town street. You almost ran the red 'cause you were looking over at me. Wind in my hair, I was there. I remember it all too well.
Song almost hits different now.
Album on the counter, your cheeks were turning red. You used to be a little kid with glasses in a twin-sized bed. Your mother's telling stories about you on the T-ball team. You told me about your past, thinking your future was me. And I know it's long gone, and there was nothing else I could do. And I
This feels different.
Maybe we got lost in translation. Maybe I asked for too much, but maybe this thing was a masterpiece. Till you tore it all up, running scared. I was there, I remember it all too well. Hey, you call me up again just to break me like a promise. So casually cruel in the name of being honest. I'm a crumpled up piece of paper lying here, 'cause I remember it all, too well.
This might be her best written song I've ever heard.
It's like I'm paralyzed by it. I'd like to be my old self again, but I'm still trying to find it. After plaid shirt days and nights when you made me your own, now you mail back my things and I walk home alone. But you keep my old scarf from that very first week, 'cause it reminds you of innocence and it smells like me. Can't get rid of it, 'cause you remember it all too well. 'Cause there we are again when I loved you so. Back before you lost the one real thing you've ever known. It was rare, I was there, I remember it all too well. Ring in my head, you were there, you remember it all. Down the stairs, you were there, you remember it all. It was where I was there, I remember it all too well.
Jesus, I still have trouble listening to this song. It's just one of those songs that hits you like a ton of bricks. And yeah, there's a 10-minute version of the video, which is on a whole different level. But even this just kind of, it's still pretty wild, especially leading up from where this album started and kind of like the arc that we're in. It still is incredibly heavy. I gotta say, I'm really enjoying the general vibe of this album so far. But with Red, we're moving into what seems like a more mature style of writing. Or at least more mature sound design, because I don't want people to sleep on the first couple records. But all I'm gonna say is the first handful of songs we've heard have been pretty damn heavy. Even like the lighter than life songs, the poppy ones, Trouble and stuff, like has like a darker undertone to it. Like this all feels incredibly heavy.
It feels like a perfect night to dress up like hipsters and make fun of our exes. It feels like a perfect night for breakfast at midnight to fall in love with strangers. Yeah, we're happy, free, confused, and lonely at the same time. It's miserable and magical. Oh yeah, tonight's the night when we forget about the deadlines. It's time. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling 22. Everything will be alright if you keep me next to you. You don't know about me, but I'll bet you want to. Everything will be alright if we just keep dancing like we're 22.
I guess 22 is a good age. Yeah.
22. It seems like one of those nights. This place is too crowded. Too many cool kids. It seems like one of those nights.
The hell?
We ditch the whole scene and end up dreaming instead of sleeping. Yeah, we're happy, free, confused, and lonely in the best way. It's miserable and magical. Oh yeah.
Cool run.
Tonight's the night when we forget about the heartbreaks. It's
Some heavy synths on this one. Not bad. $22, huh? Okay, we've taken a shift. Things were getting pretty heavy there for a while for the first 5 songs. I think we needed a break, and Taylor has given us permission to breathe here. We're taking a step back, and we're taking it back to 22. I don't know if she's actually 22 during the recording of this, but I can remember what I was like when I was 22. Things were a little bit more carefree, and I remember going to the parties and the clubs and the cool kids and all that fun stuff. Yeah, dude. By the time we got halfway through the song, I mean, I started kind of cheering up too and started feeling good. Sonically, this is pretty cool too as well. I mean, I'm getting like vibes of kind of like the Chainsmokers and a Major Lazer, that EDM style of like electronics that are implemented in like rock music every once in a while. It kind of very much feels like that with like a pop angle to it. But yeah, it's dancey, it's fun. We got a little bit of room to breathe, and now I'm just kind of on the edge of my seat. I just do not know what to expect.
This time of night you're still up. I bet you're tired from a long, hard week. I bet you're sitting in your chair by the window, looking out at the city, and I bet sometimes you wonder about me.
Is Taylor gonna phone in a booty call?
And I just wanna tell you, it takes everything in me not to call you. And I wish I could run to you, and I hope you know that every time I don't, I almost do.
Oh, it's sweet.
I almost do. I bet you think I either moved on or hate you, 'cause each time you reach out, there's no reply.
Oh.
I bet it never ever occurred to you that I can't say hello to you and risk another goodbye.
Risk it.
And I just wanna tell you, it takes everything in me not to call you. And I wish I could run to you, and I hope you know that every time I don't, I almost do, I almost do.
That's beautiful.
Oh, we made quite a mess, babe. It's probably we better off this way. And I confess, baby, in my dreams you're touching my face and asking me if I'd wanna try again with you.
Her voice is so delicate here.
And I almost do. And I just wanna tell you, it takes everything in me not to call you. And I wish I could run to you, and I hope you know that every time I don't, I almost do, I almost do. I bet this time of night you're still up. I bet you're tired from a long, hard week. I bet you're sitting in your chair by the window, looking out at the city, and I hope sometimes you wonder about me.
This is a beautifully constructed song. I think Taylor sounded fantastic here. Again, layering is awesome. Guitar sounds fantastic. The storytelling once again steals the show. I almost could immediately picture myself having a long, hard week at work, just sitting in my recliner and just looking out the window. And this is one of those songs that seems like she's talking about maybe not quite regret, but it's more about kind of being a little bit more guarded at this time. She knows getting into the path of different relationships that she knew that she was walking towards trouble. Now it seems like she doesn't want to be quite as vulnerable, so she's not calling this person. But she wants them to know that, like, every time I don't call you, I almost do. It's actually kind of sweet. And yeah, sonically too, it's got more of a touch of kind of like that country flair that we're used to from some of her earlier records here. It just does feel like a clear evolution. I think that she knows this relationship, is not meant to be. She talks about actually making quite the mess and is probably better off this way. But she's still tempted. She still thinks about this person. And I think this song was probably written and released because she probably wanted to tell him in her own way. And I think that's it right here with this song. This is like her version of a voicemail. We're reversing.
I remember when we broke up the first time, saying this is it, I've had enough. Cause like we hadn't seen each other in a month, when you said you needed space. What? Then you come around again and say, baby, I miss you and I swear I'm gonna change. Trust me, remember how that lasted for a day? I say I hate you, we break up, you call me, I love you.
Okay, I can't help but wonder, this guitar reversing at the tail end of the phrasing, I wonder if that's supposed to go along kind of the theme of this song so far, of fighting and getting back together. I love you, I hate you, kind of this back and forth. So as the guitar's finishing its phrasing, the last couple of notes are just played in reverse. So it's kind of like this just constant loop that's going around.
We called it off again last night, but this time I'm telling you, we
Oh,
never, ever,
okay.
getting back.
I know this one too.
Never, ever, getting back together.
Listen to that snare.
To your friends, talk to my friends, talk to me. But we are never, ever, getting back together. Like, ever. I'm really gonna miss you picking fights, and me falling for it, screaming that I'm right. And you would hide away and find your peace of mind with some indie record that's much cooler than mine. Ooh,
Oh,
you called me up again tonight, but
I'm putting the pieces together. Comments are starting to make sense.
I'm telling you, we are never, ever, getting back together. We are never, ever, getting back together. You go
I mean, this is kind of an indie record so far. This is this is kind of funny. It's kind of brutal and it's kind of funny.
to your friends, talk to my friends, talk to me. Talk to me. But we are never, ever,
I love a squeak.
Never say never.
So he calls me up and he's like, I still love you. And I'm like, this is exhausting, you know? Like, you're never getting back together. Like, ever.
No, we are never, ever, ever.
She's sick of his shit. All right, so there it is. We are never getting back together, and it's kind of funny listening to this one now. The comments are starting to make sense. People had told me in other videos that I posted that someone criticized Taylor Swift for not being as indie or as seen as some of the artists that person appreciated. And there's musical elitism everywhere. Every genre of music has it. But indie definitely had a big scene for a while. You know, it was... Indie's supposed to be like this small little thing, this group of like artists that aren't at the mainstream level. And for a while there, it was getting very, very popular, and these indie artists were getting on main stages. And that kind of makes them just a modern act and not so much indie music. Anyway, yeah, it's just one of those things. Music has trends, you know, it's got shelf lives as far as like the sonic experience that's trending at that time. And indie was right there in it for a bit. It's ridiculous, but I like the fact that she kind of called it out here that I'm not as cool as that. This also feels pretty celebratory as well. I'm kind of happy for her at this point. She's expressed that like the relationship has been exhausting at this point. You know, you calling and apologizing, doing this back and forth. She seems to have this aha moment of like, you know, fuck this. I'm done with this guy. We're not getting back together. I'm not investing any more of my emotions in you. I'm not gonna let you hurt me again. And it's a celebratory moment. And I think sonically it tells the same story. It feels celebratory. So, but it's also one of those songs too that I always heard kind of in passing, and I thought it was like this little fluff piece, like, oh yeah, good for you, girl. Yeah, don't get back together with this person or whatever. But once you start to like understand like the context and like the intensity of her relationships and like how fucked up some of them have been, it starts to make a lot more sense. And these songs carry a little bit more weight than just passingly hearing them on the radio or whatever. It sounds like a commercial. This sounds like the music I write for a living.
I'm pretty sure we almost broke up last night. I threw my phone across the room at you. I was expecting some dramatic turn away, but you stayed. This morning I said we should talk about it, 'cause I read you should never leave a fight unresolved. That's when you came in wearing a football helmet and said, okay, let's talk. And I said, stay, stay, stay. I've been loving you for quite some time, time. You think that it's funny when I'm mad, but I think that it's best if we both stay. Before you, I'd only dated self-indulgent takers who took all of their problems out on me.
Didn't she just take it out on him?
But you carry my groceries and now I'm always laughing. And I love you because you have given me no choice but to stay, stay, stay.
This is so much different than everything else I've heard in the album. It's cool. I like the bells, the chimes and everything. I don't know if she's talking about herself here. The general tone and vibe of the song makes it feel like she's narrating a story about somebody else. There's definitely some conflicting things right over here. She starts off by like throwing a phone at this dude, and I think it's supposed to be this cutesy thing, but it's really fucking not, dude. It's really not. It's back in, you know, wearing the football helmet, kind of making fun and light of the situation, and says, okay, let's talk. All right, good on that fucking dude. All right. And down over here, she starts talking about dating other people and how like self-indulgent they were and how they take out their problems on her, you know, which leads me to believe, I don't know if it was like a mental abuse or some sort of physical abuse, but I can't help but think about like her throwing the phone at this fucking dude. And I'm like, well, you're doing the same thing. I don't know. I don't know if I like who she's talking about. I don't know if I like this story.
You think that it's funny when I'm mad, 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 but I think that it's best if we both stay.
It's supposed to be cutesy, but it's kind of fucked up.
Stay.
Is that an xylophone?
You took the time to memorize me, my fears, my hopes and dreams. I just like hanging out with you all the time. All those times that you didn't leave, it's been occurring to me. I'd like to hang out with you for my whole life. Stay, and I'll be loving you for quite some time. No one else is gonna love me when I get mad, mad, mad. So I think that it's best if we both stay, 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 stay. I've been loving you for quite some time, time. You think that it's funny when I'm mad, 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 but I think that it's best if we both stay, 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 stay. I've been loving you for quite some time, time. You think that it's funny when I'm mad, 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 but I think that it's best if we both stay. It's so fun.
Okay. So yeah, sonically, at least it's pretty damn cool. I mean, I guess the lyrics are kind of cool too. I like the general tone. This is a departure from almost everything we've heard on the album so far from a sound design perspective. You know, from the xylophone to the ukulele, and like it has like this like summery, lighthearted beach type of feel. You know, which is, it doesn't sound like much else on this album, so it's at least it's some new and interesting tones that have been added. As far as the lyrics go, I don't think that she's talking about herself. This doesn't feel like one of those, we're looking into her diary and we're learning a very specific story about her life and she's sharing something with somebody, with us, or literally giving out a direct message to somebody else. It doesn't feel as deliberate as that. This feels like more like a narrator just telling a story about a relationship. And I think at the end of the day, you know, this feels kind of like a love song, even though I'm not, you know, thrilled about throwing things and her talking about how her other boyfriend sucked and they were abusive in some kind of way, and she kind of threw something at him. Like it goes both ways, you know. Women can be abusive too. What the fuck? They got Gary Lightbody on this? Okay, so I've been a huge fan of Snow Patrol for years, and I love his voice. Snow Patrol is an absolutely phenomenal band, and Gary has an incredibly vivid and wild voice. It's just so recognizable, and it pulls something out of you. This should be very, very interesting.
I find myself at your door, just like all those times before. I'm not sure how I got there. All roads, they lead me here. I imagine you were home, in your room, all alone. And you open your eyes into mine, and everything feels better.
And right before your eyes, I'm breaking. No pause, no reasons why.
That is beautiful.
Just you and Just like all those times before, you wear your best apology, but I was there to watch you leave, and all the time
It's two different perspectives.
just for you to go again, disappear when you come back. Everything is better and right before your eyes. I'm making new paths, the words you hide, just you and me. This is the last time I'm asking you this. Put my name at the top of your list. This is the last time I'm asking you why. You break my heart in the blink of an eye.
How did I not know about this?
This is the last time you tell me I've got it wrong.
This is the last time I say it's been you all along.
This is the last time I let you in my door.
This is the last time I won't hurt you anymore. This is the last time I'm asking you that.
She's holding her own.
Put my name at the top of your list. This is the last time I'm asking you why. You break my heart in the blink of an eye.
This is the last time I'm asking
This is the last time I'm asking you that.
at the top of
Put my name at the top of your list. This is the last time I'm asking you why. You break my heart. This is the last time I'm asking you last. Time I'm asking you last. Time I'm asking you last. This is the last time I'm asking you last. 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 This is the last time I'm asking you last. Time I'm asking you last. Time I'm asking you last.
Oh my God, dude. It really feels like worlds are colliding right now. I've been into Snow Patrol for so many years, and Gary, he's a difficult person to kind of collaborate with because generally he steals the show. His tone is incredibly unique, but I have to say, Taylor held her own on this one. The layering was perfect. The back and forth was beautiful. It's dramatic and it's intense in all the right ways. And I think it's incredibly Taylor Swift. It's incredibly Snow Patrol. I think they did themselves justice on this one. It wasn't Gary on a Taylor Swift song. It wasn't Taylor Swift on a Snow Patrol song. It truly feels like a really awesome mix here. I how did I not know about this one? Probably because I don't tell many people that I'm into Snow Patrol, because it can be a difficult listen. You know, some of the music's kind of sad and depressing, but it's absolutely wonderful. I mean, they're a phenomenal artist. Anyway, I love the back and forth. I love telling the story from two different perspectives of trying to take someone back and being apprehensive about it. Wow. This album is really shaping up to be possibly my favorite I've heard from her so far. And we're not even halfway done yet. We're at the 10 song mark. This might be a contender to bump off Folklore. I don't know. I hate saying it because I love that album. It's the one I listen to the most, but this is a contender here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop right here since we're at the 10 song mark. and probably finish up the next couple of days, the last 10 songs on the album, and then we'll do the vault tracks. Just because my Dayquil's starting to wear off, and I want to make sure I'm actually giving these songs the dedication and the respect that they deserve. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. I'll be back real soon with the second half of this album. Then we'll get to the vault tracks. But hope you guys have a wonderful night, and I'll see you on the next one.